Good morning. Want to welcome everybody to our January 22nd Facilities Committee meeting. The time is 9:01 a.m. We have myself, Mr. Helms, and Mr. Price present, and I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0, thank you. Open session action items. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0, thank you. Vehicle bids, Mr. McManus.
Good morning, Ms. May and committee members and everyone else. Thank you very much. In front of you, excuse me, you have basically two bids, one for truck replacements and one for van replacements. Quotes from Piedmont Trucks, which is the Sheriff's Association contract that we bought many vehicles in the past on. We received those bids on January the 8th for a total amount for both those bids of $515,671.90. Staff request that Facilities Committee recommend to the full board for approval of the quotes provided by Piedmont Trucks.
Does anyone have any questions? Need a motion to send this to the full board?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0, thank you. HVAC chiller replacement bids, Marvin Ridge High School, Mr. McManus.
Yes, thank you. Bids were received on January the 7th. We had 7 contractors, which is really good participation at this point for the Marvin Ridge chiller replacement. Superior Mechanical was the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $1.799 million. And staff request Facilities Committee recommend to the full board for the approval of the bid provided by Superior Mechanical.
Does anyone have questions on this?
What was the budget for this?
Yes, the budget was approximately $2.6 million in the FY25 CIP. And we obviously have a significant savings. That's twofold. One, we have a lot better participation by HVAC mechanical contractors as well as other contractors at this point. So maybe the tides are finally turning in our favor some. Now I've said that, probably jinxed it. And two, it was a scope change from the original where we wanted to add a whole condensing tower or cooling tower with boilers and chillers and such, and went back to exactly replacement of what we have based upon size, footprint, and new code changes in the HVAC and electrical area, which was going to be raise the cost significantly over the $2.6 million.
What's the time frame on this getting done?
So the plan is, those notes are on my desk at work. The plan is to start. Obviously, the bid will be hopefully approved, and then we'll do a contract. But the work will definitely start this summer, some prepping and everything, and but be ready to go before the end of this calendar year, 2025. It's a long lead time for all the chillers and such still.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to send this to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0, thank you. HVAC chiller replacement bids, Western Union Elementary.
Yes, so in front of you, bids were received on January the 9th from 4 contractors for Western Union, and Digitrol submitted the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $806,680. This is staff request that Facilities Committee recommend to the full board approval of the bid provided by Digitrol in the amount of $806,680.
Any questions?
I'm assuming that one was under the budgeted amount.
Actually, no, Mr. Helms, that one was over the budget amount. If I remember correctly, the budget was approximately $300,000. The reason for the significant increase in that, however, it's still under the savings from the overall savings that we just saw from the previous bid amount at Marvin Ridge. The previous scope was to relocate East Elementary's chiller to Western Union. Keep the chiller we currently have at Western Union running up and going, and then relocate that one. Very long story short, code changes with HVAC and electrical would not allow us to engineer that chiller to be installed based upon all the different code changes that have come across the board with both trades. And so we went a different route with a new replacement chiller and several alternates as well. We also had in investigating the chiller, we found a significant leak underground in the piping between the chiller and the building itself, and a rooftop unit. So we lumped all that in together with several alternates and chose to take them all, seeing the significant savings we saved at Marble Ridge High School.
Okay.
Mr. McManus, any idea why Superior came in highest on this bid and lowest on the last bid?
No, sir. No, that's a great question. I don't. Sometimes I do see, if I remember right, looking at it, Superior was maybe not have gotten a great price on Train because they're also doing a base bid of a Daikin instead. So different contractor, different job.
And Digitrol, we've used them before.
Yes, ma'am. I believe we have.
Okay. Any other questions? Need a motion to send this to the full board?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0. Thank you. HVAC RTU replacement bids, Parkwood High School, Mr. McManus.
Yes, thank you. So bids were received on January 14th. We had 5 contractors submitting bids for this, for the rooftop unit and the auxiliary gym at Parkwood High School. Facility System Services submitted the lowest bid in the amount of $208,522. So staff requests that Facilities Committee recommend to the full Board of Education approval for the bid provided by Facility System Services.
Any questions?
I'd be glad to get this one done.
You and me both, Mr. Helms.
And the same question about the budget. Are we within budget?
We are within budget on this one, and I believe it's a $10,000 or $15,000 savings under budget on this.
And when will this get started?
So this will get started as soon as we go ahead and, or as soon as it's fully approved at the Board of Education, and then obviously order the materials. But a lot of demo is going to have to be done because that whole entire duct and everything is coming out of the auxiliary gym, and I believe we ended up deciding on going back with the duct stock. So it'll be going throughout the summer, but it'll be up and running definitely in 100% heat by next winter.
Okay.
Need a motion to send this to the full board?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, 3-0. Partition wall replacement bids for Fairview Elementary and Porter Ridge Elementary, Ms. Emil.
Good morning. We obtained 3 bids on January 7th to replace the partition walls at both of those schools, Fairview and Porter Ridge. Both of the partitions being replaced are original to the structures. The lowest bid came in at $190,680. So staff recommends, the Facilities Committee recommended the full board the quote received from Complete Partition Repair.
Any questions?
Where are these at the school?
The partition walls are between the cafeterias and the gyms.
Okay.
There's the big sliding walls that fold.
Correct. Yes. They're that create the separation between the gym or cafeteria, but allow you to open it to use the space for performances.
And this is to replace the walls or repair the walls?
Replace, sir.
Any other questions? Need a motion to send this to the full board?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, 3-0. All right, we have some informational items, a bond update, Ms. Emil.
You have in front of you the bond update for this month. Construction is steadily moving ahead, and both projects are on track and within budget. So we're just making steady progress toward our goal.
Which is fantastic. Anybody have questions on this? Next would be the CMAR for East Union, which is the renovation of the old Forest Hills High School.
Yes, we received 10 submittals from the RFQ that we sent out regarding this project. We did an initial assessment and have narrowed that down to, initially we intended to interview 3. However, candidates 3 and 4 had the same score. So we're in process of setting up interviews in that next phase towards selection for those top 4 groups.
Okay. Any idea when we'll see some design ideas and that type of thing?
We are currently in SD with DLR, the architectural firm that we're utilizing. So we do have some draft items that are associated with a floor plan, and I'll be glad to share those if that will be helpful.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have questions on this?
Yeah, I think we can maybe put on the agenda for the February meeting, a schematic design presentation to you guys, if you'd like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Next we have an annexation, East Union, partial to Town of Marshville. Mr. McManus.
Yes, so just a kind of a heads up. I received an email from the town zoning administrator, Jonathan Wells from the Town of Marshville. We basically own a rectangle, all the property at East Union, but there is a small rectangle if you're facing East Union, the back left-hand side, that obviously looks to me like it was an old home site at some point, many, many years ago, and it has never been incorporated into the Town of Marshville. It's the only portion of our property there that's not in the Town of Marshville. And they were doing a routine survey of all their maps and everything and saw it and just want to clean that up. So we're working through that process, very preliminary at this point, but just wanted to give a heads up in case anyone was approached about it.
Any questions on that?
Is that homes? I guess that would be deeded separately. Why would it not be deeded with our other property?
That's a great question, and that's one of the questions that we have with the Town of Marshville. We are currently looking for any old surveys that we have back with that pertains to that school, or any deeds or anything like that. But really don't know the answer to that. I've assumed that our whole basically big rectangle was all in the Town of Marshville, but that portion is in Union County.
Interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been from what year? Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. If I told you a date, I would be lying, because I'd just be making them. I could not tell you.
Okay, we have surplus inventory. Mr. McManus, does anyone have questions on that? No? Okay. Looks like our next meeting date is February 26th at 9 a.m. via Zoom, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 3-0.